all of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is, TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all.
Music mogul and rapper Sean Diddy Combs has faced 4 different lawsuits in recent weeks alleging sexual assault and abuse.
I'm a like I told Puffy, I don't let men take me out.
Comedian Katt Williams drops bombs on his most recent interview, exposing a very uncomfortable encounter with Diddy, the truth behind the path to fame in Hollywood, and the shady dealings between Diddy and Kevin Hart. From Combs being accused of giving Usher STD and possibly molesting young Justin Bieber, what else could be next in the Diddy series? Every time we are hit with news on Diddy, we can't help but think, could all these cases only be the tip of the iceberg? What else is there that we don't know? How many people are out there who know more but are afraid to speak up? Well, Katt Williams is definitely not one of them, as he is not afraid to raise his voice on this matter. And he proved so in his latest interview with the Club Shay Shay podcast. Although it's very unusual of him to expose other celebrities, the comedian did not hold anything back.
Because in 30 years, I've done nothing but collect information, knowledge, and your secrets.
What really got our attention was the things he hinted about Kevin Hart and, of course, Sean Diddy Combs. Williams mentioned the heavy costs that entails Hollywood's fame and recounted a bizarre encounter where he felt extremely uncomfortable and even pressured by Diddy's advances. According to Katt, it all happened in one of Diddy's lush and extravagant parties, with a long guest list filled with Hollywood's biggest stars. Once he made it there, the comedian was met with something he did not expect at all. There were no women present, only men. That led Williams into a state of uneasiness, which guided him into attempting to leave the gathering. But Diddy wasn't going to let him get away that easily, so he obstinately tried pursuing him to make him stay, offering drinks amongst other things. Williams' senses were on high alert by that time, so he declined the favors. After Diddy's failed attempts, Katt had had enough, and he firmly expressed his lack of interest in Diddy's advances. "I'm not gay, and I'm not going to sleep with you," he said. He later on during the interview explained that he had absolutely no issue with anyone's sexuality, but with the fact that he felt harassed and pressured into something he clearly didn't want to do or partake in. According to him, that rejection did not sit well with Diddy, so he tried to intimidate him by threatening to harm his career. Fortunately, that did not work with Katt, who found a way out of that party and decided to share this story in order to expose the reality of the entertainment industry and warn young aspiring artists. Williams stressed the importance of respecting boundaries and highlighted the significance of consent, regardless of gender or sexual orientation. "I respect everyone's right to love whoever they want to love, but I also respect my right to say, no thank you," stated Williams. What shocked fans the most was when he mentioned turning down a stack of $5 million, not only once, but 4 times throughout his career, just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about, right? 'Cause P. Diddy be wanting to party and you gotta tell him no. Katt even said he has receipts to prove all his claims. "See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you. That's why I can say them so freely." Sean Diddy Combs' suspicious behavior during the encounter, narrated by Katt, sparked immense rumors and theories. The most talked about being the one stating that Diddy wanted Katt on his comedy special. The special was called P. Diddy Presents the Bad Boys of Comedy, and it had a long list of more than 110 comedians in order to make his way into the comedian side of Hollywood. While that was a huge event, many linked it to a possible cover for his true intentions, targeting struggling comedians and using the act as a facade for the dark activities he suggested to be involved in. With Katt's encounter with Diddy being exposed, we can't help but wonder what other young artists were pulled into this, but couldn't stand their ground with some of the industry's biggest figures. Katt himself hinted at not being the only victim of bribery and possible assault, and we all know that there's an endless list of big names who have been rumored to be targeted by the music mogul and his inner circle, so let's debrief the most shocking ones. First one being the one and only Justin Bieber. We are all extremely aware of how the singer got exposed to the Hollywood lifestyle during a very young age, which could have displayed him in many dangerous and compromising situations. Now as a kid, no one really teaches you how to cope with all that, and as said by himself in a heartfelt interview, Bieber fell into substance abuse and other unhealthy coping mechanisms in order to disconnect from his harsh reality. The young pop singer recalls a time in his life in which part of his daily routine would literally consist of him sipping various drinks and taking pills.
There was a time where I was sipping lean, I was popping pills, I was doing Molly, shrooms, everything, and it was just an escape.
There are visual reports stating that Diddy showed Justin a Ferrari and promised him the opportunity to drive it once he turned 16, and even offered him a mansion, which he could supposedly have when he turned 18.
So, as soon as you turn 16, know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you rock this every time you
Right here?
yeah, it's gonna be yours. So every time you come
Okay.
out, it's a little dusty, but you know, put the front shot in.
Man.
Get that out. Minute.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna be driving this next year.
Yeah, when you get 16, you come down and you gotta, wear your seat.
I mean, I'm 15. You could ride in the passenger seat. I got my permit. Not yet.
Yeah.
These allegations raised questions about Diddy's real motives behind such extravagant gifts, and some even think that these alleged actions may have been intended to involve Justin in activities unsuitable for his age.
Then, when you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Some couldn't help but point out the significant parallels between Justin's overdose and the one narrated by Cassie, Diddy's ex, where she claimed to be using drugs and other substances in order to completely dissociate during the freak-offs that he forced her to take part of. Justin luckily managed to get clean and get his life together, and it is noticed that all those positive changes took place once he had distanced himself from Diddy and other higher names, which could allude to a potential influence that might exist inside the industry. A very similar pattern was noticed with Chris Kelly, member of the Criss Cross duo, who fell into overuse of illegal substances. It is publicly known that the duo was mentored by both Diddy and the producer Jermaine Dupri, and many insinuated that their mentorship and overuse of power might have been a reason that led the young artist into substance abuse. Sadly, the young artist did not have the chance to get clean and rebuild his life, as he was found unconscious in his Atlanta home and was immediately rushed to the hospital. 2 days later, May 1st of 2013, he was pronounced dead around 5 p.m. on the South Campus of the Atlanta Medical Center, while only being 34 years old. Another case we are familiar with is Usher. Back in 2012, the singer faced some serious lawsuits in Midtown Manhattan, where 2 women and a man accused him of failing to warn them about him having herpes before an intimate encounter, which is required by law. In response, Usher filed a legal document containing a broad denial, without actually specifying whether he has or had the sexually transmitted disease. Ever since, there have been rumors circulating online that Diddy gave Usher a sexually transmitted disease when he was only 15 years old. The source of these rumors is unclear, but some speculate that they are based on Usher's admission that Diddy used to take him to wild parties when he was a young teen, as previously stated in one of our videos, which exposed him to many inappropriate activities such as the famous freak-offs, which could have led him to catching an STD. Even though this is all based in rumors and speculations, these cases only highlight the importance of good guidance, protection, and parenting control towards young aspiring artists. Now back to Katt's interview. The comedian also implied that Kevin has had deals laid out for him since the beginning of his career, which was utterly suspicious. Now thinking about it, it is pretty unusual for someone who just got started to have his own sitcom, lead a movie, and make the amount of money that Kevin was making.
He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to LA and in his first year in LA, he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is?
You're probably thinking, does Diddy have anything to do with this too? Well, with Diddy and Kevin Hart's history together and their tight friendship, several people thought that he might have had a hand on all this. Some venture to say that Kevin probably had the same offer as Katt's laid out in front of him at the early stages of his career, but instead of denying it, he accepted it, which led him into a path of fame and success in exchange of his integrity. He also explained how he had never seen a sold-out Kevin Hart's shows and how all his fame is based on business and deals. Finalizing his over 2 hours long interview, Williams concludes that neither money nor fame can override personal boundaries and the importance of stating one's ground. We can't help but highlight the importance of monitoring and making sure young artists on the rise are being treated with respect and integrity, as well as offering a safe space for them during their development inside the industry. With accusations towards Diddy being on the rise, could the time where Diddy is held accountable for his actions be near? Could these rumors actually be true? Who do you think will be the next person to break their silence and expose Hollywood's deepest secrets? Let us know in the comments and don't forget to subscribe.